nemesis of a firefighter. Arsonist, I'm a fire rider. Instant flame like a firelighter. So special with shows, I live out my flows. Can't walk in my shoes, can't purchase my clothes. Ice in my veins, but I never froze. Picture perfect, but I never posed. As a juvenile, I knew I bounced back. Got rated, had a plan to get my ounce back. Use cheese as bait, that's a mousetrap. Let me to the right person to pounce at. They selling dreams, I'm pulling receipts. Full force, we can't be beat. Got a dirty mouth, but the flow so neat. Keep your 2 cents, talk is cheap.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros are comments made by unified heavyweight champion of the world, Alexander Usyk, in which he states that he doesn't believe you're qualified to criticize fighters unless you've sparred at least 1 round. So we'll listen to his comments and then we'll discuss it. All right. And so this video appears courtesy of Boxing King Media. Subscribe to Boxing King Media. They just got over 400,000 subs, but we can make that number go up if you subscribe. All right, let's listen to what Alexander Usyk had to say.
Opinion on Anthony Joshua. A lot of people are saying that he's not the same fighter mentally since his Usyk loss, since his Ruiz loss. But obviously, you've beaten him twice since. What do you make of Anthony Joshua as a fighter? Do you think he can still challenge some of the other heavyweights out there? Because people are judging him on your 2 wins over him.
Багато людей кажуть, що Ентоні Джошуа вже не той після поразки мексиканцю. Але ти виграв в нього двічі. І багато людей тебе оцінюють через ті 2 перемоги над Ентоні Джошуа. Що ти думаєш, який він боксер зараз?
Мені здається, він чудовий боксер, якому треба трошки часу для відновлення. А той, хто каже, хто судді, хто? Вони виходили в ринг, вони боксували, вони тренувались.
I think he just needs a little more time to recover. He's a great fighter and a great personality. And who are those people who judge him? Who are the judges? Have they ever entered the ring? Have they ever trained and felt that pain? They have no right to say so.
Для того, щоб хоч якось говорити про боксера, про олімпійського чемпіона, яким є Ентоні Джошуа, чемпіон світу, треба хоча б 1 раунд вийти в спарринг. Тобто це 3 хвилини.
If you want to talk about the fighter, you have to, at least once in your life, get into the ring and get a sparring session, at least for 1 round for 3 minutes. Then you will have the right.
Okay. That's right. That's right. That's right.
So I'm gonna turn it over to you, Trill Dollar Bill. You heard what Usyk had to say. Oh, one quick announcement. Usyk signed to Skills Challenge and the promotional group from Saudi Arabia. So he signed with them. That's what he was out there doing, and that's when he got interviewed. So I just wanted to make that announcement. All right, so Trill Dollar Bill, what's your reaction to what Usyk had to say in regards to saying you're not even qualified to talk about boxing unless you sparred at least 1 3-minute round?
Touche. Listen, I've been saying this for a while now, right? And actually, I was explaining myself because a long time ago, we was talking about fighters, and somebody said it looked like Trill was about to cry in the comment section when I was talking about the boxers, right? And how I feel passionate, you know what I'm saying, about boxers and everything they go through, right? And they was wondering why I felt that type of passion, that it looked like I was about to cry, right? It's because the reason why Boxing Bros and I share this passion for boxers is because we know how it feels. We know how it feels to be in there and throw a punch, get punched. We know how it feels to make sacrifices. The same as these fighters do. So when certain people, you know, like they talk and call certain fighters trash and say that this person right here has no heart and this person faked and this person was quitted on himself and you ain't never been in there, it's cool to, you know what I'm saying, when you're sitting on the outside, it's cool to yell at everybody, you know, and say, oh, you could have did this or you could have did that. When you have never been in that certain situation, And it's good to say, oh, this person's a punk, this person's a coward, this person's this, that, and the third, and you ain't never lived this situation. This is what people like to always do. You know, they like to sit, it'll be a guy, you know what I'm saying? 400 pounds, sitting on the couch, saying, oh, Devin Haney. Devin Haney can't punch. Devin Haney got no pop.
Pillowfish Haney. Pillow.
Get in there with Pillowfish Haney. It'd be the people that say in there, they'd be like, oh, Ryan. This is Ryan. Ryan, he was faking. These people, they ain't never been in there, never got punched. There's a lot that goes in there. I was just talking, hearing on Shakur Stevenson talk about it. Like, people really don't get it. He said one of his toughest fights, everybody was talking, and I gave him props on this fight. I said, if he beat Oscar Valdez, it shows a lot about this kid. When he was in a fight with Oscar Valdez, he got hit with a body shot, a vicious body shot. He had to play it off. He went into his corner, and he told his grandfather, he said, I got to throw up. You know what I'm saying? It feels like I got to throw up. It's different when you're in there, and it's different from when you're sitting on the couch and you're watching. That's why I say people got to have some respect. That's why I talk the way I talk. This is why I act the way I act, and I give these fighters the love and respect that I give them. Because they putting their body and all that stuff on the line. And it's different when you're in there. But that's enough. I agree totally with everything that Usyk has to say. Everybody, it's okay. You can have your opinions. Everybody can have an opinion. They're like, everybody has one. You know? But it comes to a part when you become disrespectful. That's where you got to draw the line. I would never go and tell somebody at McDonald's, man, this is how you make a Big Mac, because I don't know how to make a Big Mac. But they do. You know what I'm saying? They do.
And you know when you want cheese on that burger.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell nobody how to make a Big Mac. You know what I'm saying? Nah. But everybody, this I totally agree with Usyk. You know what I'm saying? Like people will get too crazy. You know, they get behind the computer, they go crazy. You know what I'm saying? They get the Twitter thing, they go crazy and they lose their self. I always say this to people, man, that internet is an ugly place. You don't have to be an ugly person as well. And you don't have to feed into it. You know, just because you feel like people can't see your face or something like that, you don't have to be an ugly person, yo. The world's already ugly enough. That's all I feel about that. But yeah, I agree with Usyk. I don't feel bad because people I read these comment sections sometimes when I be seeing and how they talking. These guys, you think the guys in the comments that you think that they're the fighters. How they're talking? I want to see the guys in the comment section in the ring. Y'all sound like the Warriors. Y'all sound like the boxers. But hey, that's just me. But shout out to Usyk. I'm not mad. You know what I'm saying? In order you want to criticize somebody, won't you go in and before you go criticize, try to walk a mile in their shoes. Probably can't because they're too big. That's all I gotta say.
All right. Gee.
Yeah, I'm thinking Trill, man, because I agree with Trill and Usyk, but to a degree, you know, because I'm thinking what Usyk was saying, and this could be lost in translation, but it sounded like he was saying for you to criticize a fighter, you have to at least be in the ring for one round with that fighter. That's what he was saying, right? Not necessarily. That's what he said, and I'm just
I don't think that's what he was saying.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, maybe I'm just misinterpreting what his interpreter was saying, but so I'm hoping it's what Trill was saying, right? So I'm based upon what Trill was saying. I still low key disagree, and the reason why is because, you know, and I think combat sports like boxing and MMA are a little different because these are like gladiator sports. So they're like more dangerous than other sports. However, sports in general, people criticize performance. It's a sport. You know what I mean? So in any form of athletic competition, people are gonna critique, fans are gonna critique, people are gonna say whatever. It doesn't mean you have to listen to them though. You know, like everybody's a quarterback, everybody a coach, everybody got if this person just did this in the ring, if somebody did that, they will get the knockout, they will get the victory. Like, yeah, it's easier said than done. You know what I mean? Like on the outside looking in, yeah, it looks easy. Try doing that in front of a guy that wants to take your head off. It's a little different, you know. So, like, I don't believe though you have to have that experience. I think common sense would tell you that. You ever get punched in your like get punched in the mouth, like for real, like get punched in the mouth by somebody you were supposed to get punched in the mouth by. You gonna start thinking like, yeah, that hurt, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like I don't know if you need to be in the gym. You need to go through like a 6-week training camp. You gotta diet down. I don't think you need to do any of that to appreciate and to respect what fighters go through. You know, it's just being a human being, yo. It's like I think it's one thing to give constructive criticism, but when you just coming off as just like a straight up hater, it's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like no disrespect, a lot of people on Twitter are just haters, and it's just like, bro, you're not built like that, you know. But like these dudes be talking crazy to the fighters, the champions, like they go on their page like, yo, you's a sucker or you's a loser. I'm like,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying,
right.
G. That be too much.
Trolling is on Super Saiyan 5 mode, bro. Like, it's just beyond disrespectful, especially on the internet. You know, when people could hide behind avatars, you know, so they could pull that off. But in person, they wouldn't dare do that, you know. So I'm gonna be honest, I actually respect some of these commentators and people who actually, you know, they're not hiding behind nothing, they just there like and just giving their opinion. Because I'm like, at least they're man or woman enough to say, hey, I'm the person who said it. Unlike these other guys who are just hiding behind like, you know, like a picture that they grabbed of Mike Tyson or Ali from, you know, back in the days, fronting like that's their dad or something. You know what I'm saying? Talking trash on the internet, man. It's just corny. So I don't know. I feel like, you know, and I wish Ned was here because you know, I usually had these conversations with Ned. You know what I'm saying? Like on the show, like when he says like stuff like, "Yo, that person's a bum," and I'm like, "Don't call him that," because you know, it's like, bro, until you get like punched in the face in front of millions of people, bro, you'll never know how that feels. That's weird to me. Like, even like when they be like, yo, was it Uber drivers and truck drivers and all that. And I'm like, I always wonder, like, why they tell the people that on TV, right? I'm like, they shouldn't even say that. You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of like diminishes that person. But at the same time, it's like, yo, you say that to let people know, like, hey, man, these people got regular lives, man. You know what I'm saying? They got bills to pay. You know, some guys aren't privileged enough to just be in the gym 24 hours a day and provide for their families. Some guys got to work regular jobs, this, that, and third. So it's like a juggling act. You know, it's like figuring out a lot of things. So let's say that guy's performance isn't the best. Why? Because maybe he got called 2 weeks before the fight to take this fight on. You know, so he's not in top shape. And he gets in the ring, he gets violated. We're like, oh, he's a bum. He's this, he's that. But we don't know the backstory. You know what I mean? He's probably fighting the guy that knew he was going to fight that guy like 3 months in advance, but he finds out last week. You know what I'm saying? Like, the game is grimy like that, man. So I just feel like we're always quick to judge people as opposed to like not being like quick to understand and try to understand the situation and show like empathy. You may not have to have sympathy, but at least have empathy.
Yes. It's good to have opinions, man. But when these people cross that line from opinions to calling fighters bees and
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. So, I mean, a few things. I heard like a lot of great points. I agree with most of them. Um, I'll say this: the one thing I disagree with Usyk on is if you invest your money into something, you have the right to review it.
Mhm.
So, for example, if people paid to watch Anthony Joshua and Usyk fight twice, they have the right to leave a review. That's just the way life works. That's just the way the consumer world works. If I buy a product, I can review the product because I purchased that product. I invested in that product. So now, if my review's good, more people will come and more people will be interested. If my review's bad, then I can possibly deter people from buying it. Let's be honest, some products deserve positive reviews and people should pick them up. And some products you want that negative review. So it's like, yo, don't buy this because this is so I always say if you invest your time and you invest your money, then you have the right to give a review. But with that being said, you don't have the right to cross the line.
Mhm.
And many times people cross the line beyond reviews to personal attacks. And personal attacks aren't cool. And so when you cross the line and you go into personal attacks, you enter a different realm to me because I've seen some channels get on with professional fighters and call them B's and P's and C's and go at them a certain way. That's threatening. And then if you're threatening people or whatever, you're taking it to a whole nother level. But if your critique is simply about a performance you watch, about technique, about the X's and O's of boxing, about strategy and philosophy, to me, that's all fair game, right? And so when they asked Usyk and they were talking about Anthony Joshua, and he said some people are saying he hasn't been the same or questioning his mental toughness. I think what Usyk was trying to say was, okay, then tell those same people, because he's saying who are they to judge, to live a boxer's lifestyle and then go in the ring and spar for at least one round. Because I think what he was trying to say, and this is how I interpret it, because I've witnessed it my entire life, was after one round, most of those people who were talking trash about Anthony Joshua would quit boxing and never step in the ring again.
Mhm.
So, like, they don't need to be boxing Anthony Joshua. They just need to be boxing a competent boxer. Someone who trains, someone who lives the lifestyle. Put them in the ring with someone who boxes. Let's see, after 1 3-minute round, will they come out for the second round? I'm telling you, bro, like, I grew up in boxing gyms. I can't tell you the flavor of the week. You know what I'm saying? We would see a kid come in and be like, oh, I want to learn how to box or whatever. No beat, no bull. They'll come in. All right, the trainers be like, all right, come in or whatever. And then when they leave, they'll come up to us and be like, how long do you think that kid's gonna last? And people be like, I give them 2 weeks, I give them ball, whatever. Someone say one sparring session. After one sparring session, the kid never come back. It's the same one. Go ahead, bro.
No. Just when you was telling the story, reminds me of our singing, the Boxing Bros singing. Come humble.
Only humbled.
Yep. Come humble or leave humbled. Exactly. So when I played football, we had this one kid. I won't say his name because apparently our show makes the rounds in Boston. So I'm not gonna say any names. But this kid, if he's watching, he's gonna know if he watches, he knows who he is. He came in thinking he was like God on the football field because he was the man in two-hand touch playground football, whatever. We play in pads, full contact, everything. So he showed up during our practice and he was shining in practice. Like, because before you can get headgear, before you can wear shoulder pads, helmets, and everything, you got to have 3 days of conditioning at least, right? So we have 2 weeks of conditioning. So during conditioning drills, he's doing all that running, coming in first and third every time. He looked great in all the practice drills. But as soon as we put on them pads and he caught that pass over the middle, one of my boys came and lit him up. He was laid out on the floor for like 2 minutes. Got up. After that practice, we came back the next practice. Didn't see him. Came back weeks. Didn't see him. He stopped playing football and started playing basketball. He didn't want to play football no more.
He stopped playing football and went to church. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. And I've seen those dudes in the boxing gym. They come in, they hit the bag, they doing all that. They want to act tough. Soon as the sparring session come, soon as they get pieced up a little bit, they done. You know what type of mental toughness it takes. That's why I said, like, when people criticize certain people, like, you know what type of mental toughness it takes to get your behind whoop one round and come back out and say, I'm gonna win the next one? You feel me?
Or get your butt whooped and say, I'll be back next week.
Yeah. First of all, any boxer in the gym today, any professional boxer had to get beat up one day, embarrassed in front of everyone, and still come back to that same gym and say, I'm going to get better and win next time. That's what people don't understand. That's what Usyk is talking about when he's talking about the boxing lifestyle. What he's saying, go in the ring and spar one round. Because after that one round, everyone's going to know who you are. Because when you first go in here, that's just the way it is. You don't know enough. Like for me, I remember the first time I stepped in the boxing ring, excessive blinking, cuz I'm just blinking all the time. And my trainer's like, stop freaking blinking. Like, it's okay. You can get hit with your eyes open. You know what I mean? And so once you get comfortable, that's why I said you can tell certain cues, everything. Once you get comfortable, you've seen everything. You just looking. Imagine you just see them boxers in there, how calm they look under fire, and you think it's a game. But when you're the one who's under the fire, see, all that's years of experience, years of being calm, years of all. But the average beginner don't know that they come like this, they shell up, they freeze, they do all types of stuff. What you're watching on TV from the best fighters in the world is years of training and experience. So that's one thing. Imagine going one round where you got absolutely dominated, feel like you might get knocked out and still get up to answer the bell and say, it's going to be what it's going to be. You don't understand the type of courage that has, the type of courage that takes unless you've been in that situation. And we've seen guys not answer the bell in the pro ranks. We've seen guys not. Now, to me, I feel like you can call out if you believe someone quits. But what you shouldn't do is call them a quitter. So that's something completely different. I won't label someone as a quitter. But I will say I personally think they could have continued. But I'm not calling them a quitter. Because, again, I don't know. And also, like I said, you don't know what someone is experiencing. Look at what happened with Lamenti.
That's a fact.
Right? They say he got bleeding in his brain. He's still stable, but they still. So what if he would have just sat on his stoop in the 8th round and said, yo, I don't feel like myself, bro. I just can't answer the call. Everyone would have been calling him a quitter. Man got bleeding on his brain. You can't see that. So for me, like I said, people show me their fighters in more ways than just being undefeated or winning in spectacular fashion. And I'll give the example. Deontay Wilder, to me, didn't show me he was a fighter when he was beating up everyone. He showed me he was a fighter when Fury was beating up on him. And he kept answering the bell trying to win. You know the type of heart that takes, bro? No, I'm telling you, half the people who talk trash about Wilder would not have the heart to do that. Then this man, in front of millions. Then his corner threw in a towel, and this man talked himself into a corner. Said, I want him to die in the ring. Let me die in the ring. Oh, Fury had a cheat, whatever. Got dropped in the 3rd round twice. Went back to his corner. This is when Wilder showed me he's a fighter. No bull. I'm celebrating at that crib. I'm telling you, I wanted to come on here and talk so much trash to G and Complex and everyone. I was ready. I'm like, Wilder's going out in the 4th. Wilder's going out in the 4th. And then he came back out and dropped Fury twice, bro. Then you see Fury on the floor thinking like, do I even want to get up? Then you see the fighter in Fury. Fury got up. And that's when I say, yo, Wilder's for real. Because if he would have, that's how you prove you a fighter. AJ got stopped by Andy Ruiz in the second biggest upset in boxing history, according to the odds. Went into an immediate rematch and got his belts back. When everyone was saying he can't win, that's how you know that man's a fighter. He fought Usyk as his mandatory when most people don't even want to fight him for undisputed. And he gave him a fair split. Right out the gate. Wasn't hard to make the fight with AJ. AJ lost, went to immediate rematch, lost again. But he tried to keep his belt. He could have just vacated his belt. Still would have had 2 belts, still could have been champion, still could have been nitpicking if he wanted to hold the belt hostage. That's what shows me AJ's a fighter. Everybody's saying the dude's mentally weak. Mentally weak people don't do what he does. I will admit this, though. He does look like he's lost some confidence in himself, but that comes with the territory. Any shooter, if you're shooting a ball and it's not going in, you start to lose confidence in your shot. You need to have a streak of making a bunch of shots so you regain confidence again. Anyway, I'm going to close by saying this. I don't think you need to have at least 1 round experience sparring, although it goes without saying, most of the boxing bros have several rounds in the bank of being in the gym, working, training, sparring, all that. But I don't think that it's a requirement for you to have an opinion on the sport of boxing. So for you to have an opinion, I don't think you need to be in the ring and train or whatever. But for you to understand boxing, I think you need to. For you to have an understanding of what someone's going through in a certain moment, whatever, I feel like you had to have been. For you to understand what a body shot can do to you, you had to have taken one before. I got hit with a body shot. I couldn't move my legs for 3 seconds, bro. I tried. Like, I got hit, and I'm telling my legs, run, and I can't even move. I have no control over my body. When they say paralyzing body shot, what do you think that came from? Someone who got hit with one. They couldn't move. You understand? So all I'm trying to tell you is you can watch boxing, you can understand you can know the X's and O's of boxing, but to understand, to experience, you had to at least been in there. So I agree with that.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. It's okay to be a good person. It's Boxing Bros.